Hello, I'm going to try to make a video again. Computer issues. The last one, the video just completely hung up. It is the 30th of August and I haven't made a video in a while, and it goes like that. I watched a couple of videos and I see the other folks are doing the same, taking their time making videos when they feel like it, which is fine. You know, life goes on and things kind of, priorities change, things change. I have received a cassette by the band Flamingo Shadow to review, and I've only listened to it once, so I'm not ready to give it a good review. I want to give it a good review because my initial impression of it is positive, but I want to understand what's going on with it. I don't quite get where it's coming from. Folks have been asking me, thanks for the nice comments, folks, but some people ask me, well, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you listen to this? Do you listen to that? My mind is open. If there were a way to try to define my ground level of how I see myself, I was born in the 50s. My musical awakening was first kick-started by Little Richard, and the next major event was when the Beatles played Ed Sullivan, and then I was introduced to the British wave. So there's a big part of me that relates to psychedelia, British rock, European rock, and I see myself as an outsider. Whether I am or not, that's how I see myself. So that has a lot to do with my orientation. Someone was asking if I listened to I think it's Tamara was asking, do I listen to West African highlife music? Well, I have it. When I'm in the mood for it, I listen to it, but it's not what I'm defined by. I was listening recently to some Fela gentlemen. The sound of the music, highlife was, it's called highlife because the music comes from the lifestyle of the rich and the famous in Africa. Poor people couldn't afford to listen to it, But, so it's, there's an aspect of it that's party music. But Fela with his message appealed to me. Zombie. Yeah, this one is strong. Musically, it's very repetitive, and his sax playing is really not very good. But it's the essence of what's happening here that is important to me. Upside down. I'm showing Fela because I'm not into highlife music per se, but I know that Fela, even though he's not from Ghana, he's Nigerian. When people talk about highlife, they mention him. I understand that Osibisa was considered a highlife. I only had one record by them. I liked them a little bit. No, I don't have much highlife. I have African music, but not specifically highlife. Fela is someone I have great respect for. And someone I used to play music with, I always forget his name because we weren't close friends, no agreement. This is really good. But he was Bugarabu. It's an African percussion piece. He's a master Bugarabu player who is from Omaha, not from Omaha, but lives in Omaha, but was friends with Fela and would travel to Africa regularly and stay with Fela. I've seen pictures of them hanging out. So I played with a person that was friends with Fela. I have other African music, but it's not highlife. Someone else asked me, do I like stuff like Neurosis and Isis? And I have this one album by Isis, Celestial. Am I drawn to this music? Not really, no. I don't know what they're going on about lyrically. But musically, I can get in the mood for some heaviness. And this one, I have this because I took a chance on it, okay? When I saw this used years ago, I didn't know who Isis were. And someone had unloaded all their Isis albums. I was intrigued, so I said, let me buy one. This one is yellow. One album is yellow. The other one is red. And it comes with the poster. I have another split with the Melvins and Isis. And I like that as well. But am I drawn to this music to buy it? No. No, I'm not. When I see bands like this live, if they're good, that also makes a difference. If I can see music like this performed, that always makes a difference. But no, yeah. A lot of music for me has been about defining a place in my mind that I'm comfortable in. Because I've always felt like, and still feel like, an outsider in my own community. Black, white, whatever, okay? Just how I am, how I feel, okay? I've been cleaning records. Just go through these phases of doing funny, weird little things. And lately I've just been cleaning my records with a wet cloth. Just, I don't know, somehow it got started. So, some records sitting out that got cleaned, and I played this last night. Henry Franklin, Tribal Dance. Jazz bassist, he's got good players on this. Didn't have a good budget for recording, so the recording quality is not so good. But it's spirited performance by the band. Henry Franklin. I haven't played this yet, but I cleaned it. Roger Coleman sent this album to me, Dawn of MIDI. I forget what this sounds like, so I'm going to play this. Here's an old album I hadn't played in a while, and I cleaned up. The Fusion, Flying Island. When Fusion was big in the 70s and becoming commercial, labels were signing bands like this. And this is on the light side of the Mahavishnu thing. So it's pleasant, but it's interesting because it's like it's trying to form a new genre, and I like it. Light fusion, if you could call it. Good players on this. Jeff Bova, who played with the Kikuyano afterwards. Listen to this all the way through. I really like Super Furry Animals, Welsh band. Phantom Power. It's great pop songs, and a weird sense of humor, which I don't always catch because I'm not Welsh. Great German music, Agitation Free is the second. Just, this is the stuff. This is the stuff to find. These guys were jamming but trying things, and so this album is unusual. It's unusual. It's just really, that's why I like stuff like this. There's nothing like it. I guess another way of defining what I like or look for in music is maybe I look for music that's in between. Music that is not hard, that is not easily defined, like, well, this represents footballers, this represents beer drinkers, this represents women from a certain era. I like to find music where it's not so clear what's going on, but something is happening, and that it's an expression of the individual or the people involved. That interests me. Don't know anything about this. Anno Luz, but I've bought it used years ago. It's a synthesizer album where there's a few parts that melodically really come together. Then there's a lot of it just kind of goes on and on. But these are the kind of records that I find interesting. Anno Luz. Here's one that was sent to me by the musicians. I have to open it because there's no outer information. This one is real good. I listened to it the other night and ended up listening to both sides. This is Amuse-Bouche. I'll have to write it down below because you won't understand the name. But this is somewhere between chamber music, jazz, and progressive. Maybe like the Pasadena Roof Orchestra, maybe, or it's kind of hard. This is really good. It's beautiful, really well played, almost like an ensemble, like a chamber group. There's flute, cello, sax. I don't recognize any of these names. This was recorded between 2007 and 2011. Amuse-Bouche. This is wonderful, actually. This is beautiful, and it's a good example of what I really like. It's instrumental. It's spirited, intelligent. Whoever wrote it really knows music. Here's something else I think that the musician himself sent to me. Dereck, Volume 1, and I just had a chance to listen to it again because I was cleaning records. This has a lot of bass solos on it, and then it has these other pieces that are, again, what I like. They're kind of, I'm not sure what's going on here. But it's captivating enough that it's like, I kept listening. But a little hard to define, maybe like the cover. Not so well defined. Dereck, Volume 1. And I really appreciate people sending me their original music like this, especially in vinyl. Aphex Twin, I have to be in the mood. Some of his music seems like just junk. Like it's just, I'm just doing this, and so, okay, I'll put it on the record. Other stuff seems inspired. But Aphex Twin is a little frustrating to me. It does seem like he just does, he'll make a noise and then he'll release it. It's not always that interesting. One from my past, D-Light, Runaway. There was a time when I was really into D-Light. Lady Miss Kier, Tawate. I saw them live with Bootsy and other members of Funkadelic in the band. It was a great show. Danced to my butt off. But this is still fun, and the production of these beats, I think, are still fresh. Runaway, D-Light. These are just some records that are sitting out that got played because I was cleaning. Here's one that I keep, although it's, I had the occasion many years ago because I like the Brain label out of Germany, but someone sold all their Jane albums, and even though I'm not a real big fan, I thought to myself, I'm not going to see these, so I bought them all. So I was playing this the other night, Jane Sign Number 9. And this is the period of the band. It's on the Brain label where they're completely commercial. There's a couple of okay tracks on here, but overall this is, it's pretty sad. But it's part of my Brain label collection, which is why I keep it. Bundles by Soft Machine. This is a reissue, but this is Alan Holdsworth first joining the band. This is a smoking album. It jams. It's just a jammer. Bundles, Soft Machine. So that's the music that I love. That's the music I love. One more right quick. Spontaneous Combustion, Triad. On the Harvest label, which was why I wanted to find out what it sounded like when I would see it in the record store. Interesting cover with a die-cut hole in the middle. It's a organ-based band, not quite progressive, almost. Okay, I guess it's time to stop. You saw that. Okay. Got to get a new computer somehow.